Hello folks, welcome along. Today's video is going to be about nitrates in the koi pond. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to talk about what nitrate is, where it comes from, how it gets to be in our ponds. I'm going to talk about what levels you should be aiming to run at, and what levels you need to start taking action, and what levels it's actually very harmful for your fish. We'll talk about the things that you can look out for, the signs that your fish are actually suffering from a high nitrate level. We'll talk about the other negatives from nitrate, not only on your fish but also on your pond as a whole. I'll go on and talk about how you can lower nitrate, a short-term quick fix, and also how you can actually set up your pond and things you can do to make sure your nitrate level runs consistently low, so you don't have to sort of put fires out when it goes up and constantly worry about keeping it in check. So yeah, as always, if this is the first video of mine you've seen, please do have a look on my YouTube channel. Check out the other videos. There's a good collection of videos on there now, some good information starting to collect. So yeah, and if you like this video, please do give me a like, hit the like button, please subscribe and hit the notification icon as well. It does help, and it means you won't miss any of the up and coming videos. I've got a lot of videos coming up over the winter period to get us over the dull winter period. Yeah, so look out for those. This is a live feed of the pond as of right now, so it's the 16th of November 2020. It's just around about 10 o'clock in the morning. The temp's 6.5 degrees, so as you can see there's little activity. They were more active earlier on. I've fed them this morning, so they're content for the day now, so not much to look at. But yeah, just put the live feed up so you can see the fish. So nitrate, NO3 is the chemical formula, and nitrate is the final product really of the nitrogen cycle that we encourage in our koi ponds in the biological filter. So as you know, koi produce a lot of ammonia. That ammonia is converted by nitrosomonas bacteria into nitrate, and then a second colony of nitrobacter bacteria convert that nitrite into nitrate. And so as long as you're feeding your koi, you are basically, indirectly, but you are introducing nitrate to your pond. And nitrate, essentially it is plant fertilizer. This is the stuff that feeds the algae, feeds the blanket weed, feeds string algae, etc. All the things you don't want in your pond. This is effectively food, fertilizer for those things, and this is the reason that they're able to grow and multiply rapidly. When the nitrate is at elevated levels, that growth of algae, of weed, is accelerated. So a negative impact on the pond itself, in that it causes the growth of algae and weeds, but also at high enough levels a negative impact on your koi as well. The ideal range you want to try and run at is between 20 and 60 ppm, 20 to 60 parts per million. If you get up to, if your level creeps up beyond 80 parts per million, you really need to bring that down. And anything above 120 ppm for long-term exposure is harmful to your koi. And the signs that you need to look for in your koi that the nitrate is high are things like lethargy. So, you know, when the water temperature is still warm and fish should be active. If you see one or more fish lethargic, sitting on the bottom, not particularly active, that can be a sign of high nitrate. Also, gasping for air at the surface. Unfortunately, a lot of these symptoms are symptoms of several water quality issues, so you know, they're not an indicator on their own, but high nitrate can also cause your koi to gasp for air at the surface. A lack of appetite is often seen, although not all the time, and sometimes with a high nitrate level, your koi can be lethargic, sulking around on the bottom. You throw some food in and they come to life, come up, eat as normal, and then return to the bottom. So yeah, symptoms, but they're not all guarantees. So yeah, you need to, if you see any of the symptoms, you know, you do really need to do a little further investigation to pinpoint exactly what it is. You can also see redness in your koi, and particularly in the fins, so the sort of red veins in the fins, but redness over the whole body can also occur with high nitrates. And left unchecked can lead to issues with reproduction, so it can affect the koi's reproductive systems, and also it can impact on your koi's immune system. So although you can't actually see that, it can bring down the immune system, which leaves your koi, you know, susceptible to parasites, bacterial problems, etc. So lots and lots of problems can come about from high nitrate levels for a long period of time. Wound healing as well, you know, if your koi knocks itself, it has a wound. If the higher the nitrate level in the pond, the higher the background nitrate level, the longer that wound will take to heal. And obviously the longer the wound hangs about, the more chance you've got of getting into bacterial issues, etc. So yeah, another downside to you know, reasonably high nitrate levels is that slowing down of the healing process. Also at lower levels, although the fish are not directly in any harm, it does suppress growth of koi, so it can inhibit how well your koi grow. As such, you know, if growing koi is of particular interest to you, then you really do want to try and get on top of the nitrates. Try and put something on there that will keep the nitrate level down permanently, because it does inhibit growth, even at reasonably low levels. So, okay, I'll talk a little bit about what actually causes high nitrate levels. As I said, it is the final step of the process of dealing with your koi's ammonia emissions. So it is naturally being produced all the time. However, there are other things that contribute and speed up and increase the amount of nitrate that you'll see in your pond. One of them is feeding a poor quality food. The less of the food that is assimilated by your koi and used and processed by your koi, the more of it ends up in your water as pollutant, and ultimately it contributes to the nitrate level. So poor quality food is certainly a big factor in increasing the amount of nitrate that your pond produces, as is overstocking. So too many fish in a pond will lead to higher nitrate levels, as will overfeeding. So you know, you can feed your koi too much. They are pigs, they will eat, assuming water temperatures allow, etc. Water cleanliness means they've got sufficient appetite. They will eat whatever you throw in there. In terms of volume of koi food, I don't mean cheeseburgers and Big Macs, but they will eat big volumes, and they can overeat, and all that contributes to the nitrate levels in your water. So yeah, try to feed your koi the correct amount of food, as well as a good quality food. Another thing is a lack of dissolved oxygen. As you'll have seen from my pond at the beginning of the video, I have a massive amount of compressed air going in there. It's beneficial in so many ways to optimize the amount of oxygen that's in your water, and just one of many is the impact it has on nitrate. So the more oxygen you get in there, the less inclined your system will be to produce nitrates. There's 1,000 reasons to add more air, but generally get some air in there, no harm will come of it, only good will come of it. So yeah, increase the amount of air going in is always a good thing. Another one is is the waste in your pond. So koi waste, you know, organic waste, leaves, etc. Any kind of mechanical solid waste that sits in your pond is contributing to the nitrate load. And in particular, one thing I always try to stress is that your mechanical filter, basically it rounds up all the fish waste, all the mechanical debris in your pond. It collects it all together and it collects it into what is essentially one corner of your pond. But while it's still sat in that filter, it is still in the pond. So, you know, as long as a lot of people think, well, my filter's collected all the waste up together now, you know, the water's nice and clear, job done. But it really isn't. That waste is still in the water with your koi. It's just collected together. So the filter only does half the job, really. The filter rounds it all up for you, but it's down to you to actually get it out of there. So I can't stress enough how important it is to flush your filter waste out as regularly as you possibly can. My filters are flushed every single day. I would do it more if I could. You know, as I say, when the waste's in the filter, it's still in the pond with your fish, so get it out of there. While it's sat there, it is still contributing to your nitrate load. And so again, nitrate is just one of many, many reasons to get the waste out of your filter and thus out of your pond as often as you possibly can. Okay, so in terms of if your nitrate runs high and you want to get it down, not a huge amount of options. Mainly water changes is the big one. So your tap water will have less nitrates in than your pond if your pond becomes high. So water changes to dilute effectively the nitrate. I would recommend a trickle in, trickle out as a means of doing a constant water change rather than big volume water changes. They can introduce metals, chlorines, they can chill the water, etc. And it's also a chore having to do that, so quite often it doesn't get done. So if you can set up a trickle in, trickle out on your pond, set it up to change 30-40% of the pond water every week, then you can just forget about it and that will be done, and that will constantly dilute nitrate. And that's preferable to allowing it to build up and up and up and up, and then do a water change and it comes down and then it builds up and up and up and up. You know, if you keep it down at a low level with a trickle in, trickle out, that is much more beneficial and contributes much more positively to this kind of consistency that you need to look for in your koi pond ecosystem. So yeah, set yourself up a trickling out, and again there's videos. This one is a video on operating a trickling out, all the kind of details about it. So that's a decent one to watch if you want to set one up. Some good information in there. And then also this one is a video on my personal trickling out, which is on an easy pod, but it'll work on most gravity fed filters. You just need to tweak it a little bit, but yeah, principle is the same. So yeah, worth checking out if you want to set yourself up a trickling out, and I do recommend that for many reasons, not just for nitrate. And then longer term, plants, pond plants will consume nitrates. Now personally I don't like plants in my pond. My pond is a formal pond, so I won't have plants in there. But if you have an informal pond, or you're happy with plants in your pond, then have a look into what are the best plants for taking nitrate out of the water, and put some of those in, and then long term they will keep a check on the nitrate level. So yeah, if you have a means and you don't mind plants in your pond, they are a really good source of nitrate removal. And then lastly, again long term, some filters can actually colonize the anaerobic bacteria which is necessary to consume nitrate, and those filters generally are Backy showers. So the very porous media has an internal structure that allows places where water can get to, but there is a lack of oxygen, and this is what an anaerobic bacteria colony needs to flourish, because what it does is it lives in an atmosphere void of oxygen, and as such it takes its oxygen source from the nitrate, but very difficult to colonize. So the more expensive ceramic media such as bacteria house media are able to colonize anaerobic bacteria. Plastics won't do it. They don't have the internal small spaces to harbour these bacteria, so it does need to be a porous ceramic type media, and usually a shower filter is the best place to house those. And again, I do have a video here on Backy showers, and that's the first of a series I intend to do on those. So yeah, do check that out if you're interested in Backy showers. And a second bonus with the shower process is that it because of the nature of the shower, with the water crashing down through the media, it has a very strong gas off effect basically. So if you imagine shaking a can of fizzy pop, all the CO2 comes out. It's the same, you're doing the same with the water, and actually some ammonia in the water is able to gas off as the water crashes through the shower. So that means, because there's less ammonia to actually process, then there's ultimately less nitrate at the end of the process. So you can sort of skip the nitrate and the nitrate step by gassing off some ammonia before it is broken down. So yeah, another good benefit of a Backy shower type filter system. And that is it for nitrate. So until the next video, look after yourselves, take care, and stay safe.